Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into The Promise of Bitcoin by Bobby Lee, a visionary work that peeks into the groundbreaking realm of digital currency that kicked off in 2009 with the inception of Bitcoin by the enigmatic Satoshi Nakamoto. This book serves as a beacon for those disillusioned by traditional monetary systems, offering a glimpse into a future empowered by a decentralized democratic currency far removed from the pitfalls of the old establishments. Bobby Lee, a stalwart in the Bitcoin community and a pioneer from the early days of this digital revolution, guides us through the intricacies of how Bitcoin operates. As the founder and CEO of Ballet, a company simplifying the process of buying and using Bitcoin, Lee brings a wealth of experience to the table. His journey from a software engineer at Yahoo to the VP of technology at Walmart and eventually founding BTC China, China's first Bitcoin exchange, showcases a deep-seated expertise in the field. Presently, Lee contributes his insights and passion for Bitcoin as a board member of the Bitcoin Foundation, a nonprofit focused on increasing Bitcoin awareness. The Promise of Bitcoin is an essential read not just for investors eager to explore new avenues and those critical of the banking system, but also for anyone curious about the technological revolution surrounding Bitcoin. Whether you're a technophobe intrigued by the buzz around digital currency, or someone looking to understand how Bitcoin promises a more transparent and equitable financial future, Bobby Lee's authoritative voice and insider knowledge make this book an invaluable resource. Join us as we uncover the potential of Bitcoin to redefine the world of finance and beyond. The Promise of Bitcoin, the Future of Money, and How It Can Work for You. Introduction: Unlocking the Mystery of Bitcoin, your gateway to financial freedom. Have you ever found yourself marveling at the meteoric rise of digital currencies? From being virtually unheard of to amassing a staggering market value exceeding $1 trillion, cryptocurrencies have revolutionized the way we perceive value and money. But what sets these digital marvels apart from traditional currencies like the dollar or the euro, which have dominated the financial world for centuries? At its core, the allure of cryptocurrencies lies in the unique propositions they offer, attributes that traditional currencies simply cannot match. They introduce us to a world where transparency and democracy in financial transactions aren't just ideals but realities. They promise an unprecedented level of freedom in how we spend, invest, and shop, liberating us from the confines of conventional financial systems. Most compelling of all, they stand outside the control of central governments and banks, which have historically held the reins over the money supply. And amidst the galaxy of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin shines the brightest. As the pioneering force in the crypto universe, Bitcoin has not only set the standard, but also remained the most renowned and valuable player in the digital currency space. In our journey today, we delve into the inherent flaws that plague centralized money systems and how Bitcoin offers a compelling alternative. The intriguing link between the long-abandoned gold standard and the principles guiding Bitcoin. Practical steps for dipping your toes into the Bitcoin investment pool, demystifying the process for beginners. So buckle up as we set off on an exploration into the world of Bitcoin, the digital currency that promises not just to redefine money, but to offer a new paradigm of financial freedom and opportunity. Part 1. Exploring the imperfections of traditional money systems. Imagine a world where your money isn't bound by the physical constraints of coins or bills, where every transaction you make is encrypted into a series of unique numbers. This isn't a figment of sci-fi imagination, but the reality of Bitcoin, the pioneering cryptocurrency. Unlike traditional currencies such as dollars, euros, or yen, Bitcoin's form is entirely digital, embodying a revolution in how we perceive and utilize money. The concept of money, however, extends far beyond the physical or digital objects we exchange. Essentially, anything, be it beads, shells, spices, silver, or gold, can serve as currency as long as there's a mutual agreement on its value. The success and legitimacy of any form of money hinge on this widespread acceptance. Money's role as a medium of exchange is universally acknowledged, a function it has performed admirably across different eras of human civilization. Yet, despite its utility, money isn't without its flaws. One alternative to money that predates modern currency systems is bartering. This direct exchange of goods, say apples for boots or timber for textiles, has ancient roots. Historically, civilizations like the Phoenicians and Babylonians developed vast networks for trade, bartering goods from luxury spices to weaponry. The Roman Empire even paid its soldiers in salt, a valuable commodity at the time. However, barter comes with its inefficiencies. If the shoemaker doesn't need your apples, repairing your footwear becomes a bargaining dilemma. Despite these shortcomings, barter systems highlight a key advantage over monetary systems: their self-regulating nature, where the value of exchanged goods is determined by the participants themselves. This contrasts sharply with state-backed monetary systems, like the one introduced by the Kingdom of Lydia over 2,600 years ago. As the first to establish a centralized currency, the Lydian system allowed the monarchy to dictate the currency's value, symbolized by royal emblems on coins. While this innovation spurred commerce, it also introduced a fundamental flaw inherent in all centralized currencies. The power to determine a currency's value also comes with the capability to debase it. The essence of our exploration reveals a critical insight. While money serves as a functional system for commerce, it's not without imperfections. These flaws stem primarily from the centralization of financial power, a challenge that Bitcoin, with its decentralized approach, seeks to address. Part 2. The pitfalls of economic management by governments and banks. Money isn't just about making transactions smoother. It's supposed to hold on to its value over time, serving as a steadfast store of value. However, a glance through the annals of monetary history quickly reveals this as more of an ideal than a reality. The value of money is notoriously fickle, fluctuating in ways that often leave economies and individuals grappling with uncertainty. Centralizing the control of money was proposed as a solution to stabilize its value, entrusting governments and banks with this critical role. Yet, this approach has frequently backfired due to mismanagement, resulting in currencies steadily losing their purchasing power. Governments and banks, when given the reins to oversee economies, have a track record of decisions that lead to mismanagement. This critical oversight is marred by inflation, the devaluation of currency that occurs when too much money chases too few goods. Inflation, a beast of its own, isn't entirely malicious. In controlled doses, it can stimulate spending and economic growth, as people rush to buy goods before prices climb even higher. However, when inflation spirals out of control, it devours savings and deters investment, plunging economies into stagnation. This delicate balance between stimulating economic activity and maintaining the value of currency has been hard to achieve. Historical episodes serve as stark reminders of these challenges. In 15th century China, the invention of paper banknotes presented an innovative solution to managing money. But when the government began to excessively print money to cover expenditures, the value of their currency plummeted, rendering the banknotes nearly worthless. This financial catastrophe forced China to abandon its early foray into paper currency. Banks, too, have contributed to economic turbulence by extending credit beyond their actual reserves. The Great Depression of the 1930s is a prime example, where banks' reckless lending practices were a precursor to one of history's most devastating economic downturns. When panicked depositors demanded their money back en masse, banks crumbled, failing in unprecedented numbers and leaving millions of people financially ravaged. These historical anecdotes underscore a harsh reality. The centralization of economic control in the hands of governments and banks is fraught with risks. Their consistent track record of mismanagement has led to periods of financial instability, underlining the need for alternative approaches to safeguarding the value and stability of money. Part 3. the shift to fiat. Money, navigating a world without gold anchors. Have you ever stopped to consider the real value of the money in your wallet? That paper dollar or the coin jingling in your pocket holds no intrinsic value. It's essentially a promise, an act of faith in the state that issues it. This system, known as fiat money, derives from a Latin term meaning decree, and true to its name, the value of fiat currencies like the dollar and euro stems solely from governmental declarations that these bits of paper and metal are, indeed, legal tender. The transition to fiat money has led us into an era where currency values float freely, untethered by any physical commodity like gold. But what happens when trust in the issuing states wavers? This dilemma is at the heart of the discourse that gave birth to Bitcoin. In the grand tapestry of economic history, the abandonment of the gold standard marks a pivotal turn towards our contemporary money system. Fiat currencies, notably powerful ones like the US dollar, referred to globally as the reserve currency, facilitate international commerce, giving you the power to trade almost anywhere on the globe. Yet, despite its expansive reach and utility in transactions, fiat money struggles to preserve its purchasing power over time. Reflect on the shifting value of money. A decade or two ago, $100 could fetch you 2 pairs of high-tier sneakers. Today, that same amount might barely cover the cost of one. The depreciation of fiat money's buying power is a direct consequence of its detachment from any stable commodity, such as gold. The tethering of currencies to the solid bedrock of gold once provided a check against rampant inflation. This system, where major global currencies were pegged to the US dollar, which in turn was convertible to gold, restrained government monetary policies. However, the fiscal and political pressures of the 1960s, exemplified by the Vietnam War and significant trade deficits, compelled the United States to sever the dollar's gold linkage in 1971. Since that watershed moment, the world has navigated through the tumultuous waters of wholly unanchored fiat money, with governments now possessing unparalleled freedom to print currency as a panacea for economic woes. Critics argue that this freedom has precipitated more problems than it seeks to solve, diluting currency value and fostering economic instability. They propose a modern reincarnation of the gold standard, not as a regression, but as a forward-looking innovation. Hence, the genesis of Bitcoin, a digital standard intended to restore the virtues of solidity and trust to our currency systems. Part 4. Revolutionizing Transactions. Bitcoin's Trustless System. Dive into the world of Bitcoin, a concept that has reshaped our understanding of currencies. Unlike traditional currencies made of paper and metal, Bitcoin operates entirely in the digital realm as a cryptocurrency. This means every transaction involves digital coins, encrypted for security against fraud. But Bitcoin isn't solely a technological marvel. It's a beacon of hope against the backdrop of flawed financial systems marred by centralization and the pitfalls of fiat currencies. At the heart of these traditional systems is a demand for our trust. Trust in institutions that, time and again, have faltered. Enter Bitcoin. The question it poses is profound. What if decision-making could be entrusted to an impartial, incorruptible digital mechanism incapable of error? On January 3, 2009, an individual, or possibly a group, known as Satoshi Nakamoto, introduced Bitcoin as this groundbreaking solution. Nakamoto's real identity remains shrouded in mystery, speculation linking the name to individuals ranging from a Japanese coder to a courier for Pablo Escobar, and even a team of Australian programmers. Yet, amidst this intrigue, Bitcoin's significance as an innovative leap forward in digital currencies remains uncontested. A significant hurdle for any digital currency is the problem of double spending. Once you hand over a dollar bill, it's out of your possession. It can't be spent again. Digital currency, without the proper safeguards, lacks this physical limitation. The conventional fix would involve central authorities like banks to oversee and validate transactions. However, the financial crisis of 2008 exposed the vulnerabilities of such dependence on centralized banking systems, motivating Satoshi to bypass these institutions entirely. The solution? Blockchain. Think of it as a modern ledger, not dissimilar to those found in old accounting firms, but with a revolutionary twist. This ledger isn't kept in one place but is distributed globally, from Beijing to New York to Montevideo. Every participant has access to the same ledger, ensuring that any addition or change made by one is immediately visible to all. This transparency and universality make it impossible for the same digital coin to be spent twice, creating a decentralized yet highly reliable system for tracking transactions. Thus, Bitcoin doesn't just perform as a currency, it pioneers a trustless transaction protocol, challenging the very foundations of how transactions have been processed and verified in our financial systems. Part 5. Ensuring Bitcoin integrity through proof of work. Imagine if the very foundation of Bitcoin's reliability and trust wasn't just its cutting-edge technology or its ability to function without a central authority, but a unique system designed to keep its users in check. This mechanism, which sets Bitcoin apart from traditional currency systems, is deeply embedded in its revolutionary distributed ledger, ensuring that only legitimate transactions are recorded. The integrity of this system is paramount. Without it, the risk of fraudulent activities like double spending could jeopardize the whole network's credibility. But how does Bitcoin manage to maintain such a pristine ledger, free from the blemish of dishonest transactions? The answer lies in a process known as mining, a brilliantly conceived reward system that incentivizes users to participate in the vigilant upkeep of the blockchain. Mining is Bitcoin's way of employing a proof-of-work system, a method of verification that keeps the entire Bitcoin network honest. The concern over double spending, the digital equivalent of passing the same dollar bill in two places, is addressed through a meticulous verification process. Bitcoin miners undertake this task, although it's their computers that bear the brunt of the work. These machines tirelessly compare transaction records, akin to checking the serial numbers on banknotes to weed out counterfeits. This verification is an intensely computational task, requiring the concerted effort of thousands of computers across the network, each participating in the confirmation or rejection of transactions. This digital ledger keeping involves solving extraordinarily complex math problems, a process metaphorically described as mining through virtual layers to unearth digital gold. The proof of work comes into play when a problem is solved and a new block is added to the blockchain. This accomplishment signals to every user that significant computational effort has been invested to confirm the legitimacy of the transactions contained within that block. Why do miners dedicate expensive computational resources and electricity to this task? It's somewhat akin to a high-stakes lottery. Successful creation of a new block translates into unlocking new bitcoins, a highly lucrative reward. Despite the astronomical odds, about 1 in 21 trillion, the potential payoff is substantial. For instance, in spring 2021, solving one of these problems rewarded the lucky miner with 6.5 bitcoins, approximately valued at $215,000. However, to preserve Bitcoin's value and prevent inflation, the system caps the creation of new bitcoins at 21 million. Upon reaching this limit, miners will no longer be rewarded with new bitcoins, but will earn fees for their contributions to maintaining the ledger's integrity. This built-in scarcity ensures that Bitcoin remains a finite resource, much like the gold it seeks to digitalize, reinforcing its value and reliability as a decentralized currency. Part 6. The evolution of Bitcoin mining, from hobbyists to industrial giants. The annals of history are rich with tales of the gold rush era, a period marked by individual prospectors venturing into the wilds of California and Australia, driven by dreams of striking it rich. Similarly, the nascent days of Bitcoin saw solo miners, armed with nothing more than their personal computers and a pioneering spirit, embarking on digital expeditions to unearth this new kind of gold. These early Bitcoin miners, much like their gold-digging counterparts, were individuals relying on limited resources. They cobbled together makeshift mining rigs with the hopes of solving complex algorithms, creating new blocks in the blockchain, and in return, earning bitcoins. But just as the gold rushes evolved from individual prospectors to industrial mining operations, so too has Bitcoin mining undergone a significant transformation. In the modern era, the parallel continues. The extraction of gold and the mining of Bitcoin are both dominated by large, well-equipped entities wielding far more power than the lone individual could hope to muster. Mining has always been more than just a technical challenge. It's the cornerstone of Bitcoin's ingenious pull. The introduction of a mining reward system by Satoshi Nakamoto was a masterstroke, simultaneously building a community of enthusiasts and establishing a system more transparent and equitable than conventional banking practices. Mining is permissionless, open to all, reinforcing the decentralized ethos at the heart of Bitcoin. However, this open invitation to mine comes with its challenges. The complexity of verifying transactions, and thereby earning Bitcoins, increases with every new transaction added to the blockchain. The process demands progressively more computing power, a development that has gradually edged out the small-scale operators. The transition is stark. The early days pioneer miners, tinkering in their homes, have largely been replaced by mining pools, alliances of miners who combine their computational resources to stand a better chance in the digital gold rush. This shift reflects the increasing sophistication and industrialization of Bitcoin mining, where application-specific integrated circuits, or ASICs, reign supreme. With a single ASIC-driven mining rig costing upwards of $10,000, plus the hefty electricity bills these machines tally up, it's clear why solo miners find it difficult to compete. Despite the high entry barriers, these mining conglomerates ensure the blockchain's integrity and security through their computational contributions. Yet, for those looking to acquire Bitcoin without competing in the computational arms race that mining has become, alternatives exist, a testament to the ever-evolving landscape of cryptocurrency. Part 7. Choosing your Bitcoin wallet wisely, a guide to security and convenience. In the digital universe of Bitcoin, your wealth isn't held in physical form, but as a series of encrypted digital codes. These unique codes are safeguarded in accounts known as wallets, each identified by an intricate combination of a private key and a corresponding Bitcoin address. Before venturing into the realm of Bitcoin transactions, securing one of these wallets is your first step. The essence of this journey into cryptocurrency is to carefully weigh your options when selecting a Bitcoin wallet, prioritizing both security and accessibility. Imagine a wallet not for carrying around cards and cash, but for hosting an invisible chain of numbers. Access to this digital treasure trove hinges on a private master key, a formidable 64-digit number unique to you and you alone. In the broad spectrum of Bitcoin wallets, you're faced with a fundamental choice between hot and cold wallets. Hot wallets are perpetually connected to the internet, buzzing with activity and ready at a moment's notice. Cold wallets, on the other hand, remain offline, disconnected from the digital world and its myriad threats. Diving into hot wallets, consider the desktop wallet. This digital vault lives on your personal computer, holding your Bitcoin addresses securely away from third-party servers. Its primary merit lies in its autonomy, drastically reducing the likelihood of cyber theft. However, its Achilles' heel is its immobility. You're tethered to your computer whenever you wish to dip into your Bitcoin reserves. Enter mobile wallets, the nimble cousins of desktop wallets. Residing on your smartphone, these apps empower you with the flexibility to manage your Bitcoin transactions on the go. Yet, this convenience comes with its own set of risks. The loss or damage of your phone could sever your access to your cryptocurrency. Now, let's consider the sanctuary of cold wallets. Hardware wallets offer a fortress for your cryptocurrency, storing it on devices akin to traditional USB drives. While their security is formidable, setting them up demands a degree of technical acumen. Alternatively, paper wallets present a low-tech but highly secure option, simply involving your private keys printed on a slip of paper. The invulnerability of paper wallets to digital hacking is their crown jewel. Yet, this fortress is built on a foundation as perishable as paper itself, susceptible to damage, loss, and the ravages of time. In the end, the choice of a Bitcoin wallet intertwines with a balance between the fortification of your digital assets and the ease with which you can harness them. Reflect on your priorities and technological comfort to guide you in selecting a wallet that not only secures your Bitcoin journey, but also aligns with the rhythms of your digital life. Part 8. Embarking on the Bitcoin Journey, a guide to using exchanges. So, you're intrigued by the Bitcoin revolution but dwarfed by the colossal task of mining. Fortuitously, there exists a more accessible path to acquiring Bitcoin that doesn't involve the elaborate setup and considerable investment of mining operations. This pathway is through exchanges, the bustling marketplaces of the cryptocurrency world. Venturing into Bitcoin doesn't have to be daunting. Just like how movie theaters bring the latest films to diverse audiences worldwide, cryptocurrency exchanges serve as the gateway to buying and selling Bitcoin in countries across the globe. Each region houses its unique exchanges, tailored to meet the local demands and aligned with the banking systems and currencies in place. Despite the variations among these platforms, they share a common purpose: facilitating the exchange of Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies. Before taking your first step into the world of Bitcoin through exchanges, conducting thorough research is indispensable. Websites like CoinMarketCap.com offer comprehensive lists of over 300 exchanges globally, providing a solid starting point to find the one that aligns with your requirements. Once you've zeroed in on an exchange that suits your preferences, setting up an account mirrors the process of opening a new bank account. You'll be required to verify your identity, a step which involves submitting identification documents and potentially undergoing small test transactions to validate your bank account details. Now, with the preliminaries out of the way, you're poised to purchase Bitcoins. Payment options typically include debit or credit cards or direct bank transfers. While using a card might offer immediacy, it often comes with steeper transaction fees. Bank transfers, albeit more economical, may introduce a waiting period before your Bitcoins become accessible. Embarking on your Bitcoin investment journey through exchanges presents a practical and straightforward method to participate in the unfolding cryptocurrency saga. As you navigate this new financial frontier, remember the timeless wisdom of investment. Patience, research, and judicious decision-making are your most reliable companions. With these principles in tow, you're well equipped to explore the dynamic world of Bitcoin and its myriad opportunities. Final summary. The journey through the world of Bitcoin reveals a profound shift in how we interact with money, moving from traditional methods of trade to a digital era of cryptocurrencies. At its heart, the story of Bitcoin is about overcoming the limitations and inefficiencies of past financial systems. The attempts to facilitate trade, from bartering to the use of physical currency, have always come with their share of challenges. Bartering, for instance, is fraught with limitations. The necessity of finding a party that has exactly what you want and is willing to trade for what you have. Enter money, a transformative tool that reshaped commerce by acting as a universal medium, surmounting the hurdles of direct exchange. Yet, this solution was not without its drawbacks, chiefly the emergence of centralized authorities, such as governments and banks, with the power to manipulate and devalue currencies at whim. Bitcoin emerges as a beacon of innovation, addressing these age-old problems by eliminating the need for central authorities. It envisions a world where the control over currency is democratized, resting in the hands of its users rather than being susceptible to the whims of economy manipulating entities. Bitcoin reintroduces a system where the value of currency is stable and secure, unthreatened by the potential devaluation from external state actors. Through its decentralized nature, Bitcoin echoes the principles of the gold standard, providing a stable, finite resource. However, it transcends physical limitations by existing in the digital realm, accessible to anyone with an internet connection. This revolutionary approach doesn't just promise a future where money is more secure, transparent, and equitable, it is actively creating it. Bitcoin stands at the forefront of a new financial paradigm, challenging us to rethink our relationship with money and the institutions that control it. As we navigate this digital frontier, the promise of Bitcoin offers a vision of financial autonomy and stability, an exciting leap toward a future where the power of currency returns to the hands of the people. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.